Hey everyone, this is Rob.
And Michelle.
And welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. So this week up on the Spocket, Michelle came up with that one.
Hey.
We actually don't have a ton to go over because there's no update this week.
What?
So yeah, of course, Jagex hitting us with that surprise no update because...
Love to see it.
Yeah, no, because they do have a good reason. They said that next week is, of course, going to be Deadman mode Reborn. So if you've been living under a rock, Deadman mode is coming back, and we're going to tell you all there is to know about it because there is practically a million changes that they've done over the last week to the blog. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you can check out the link in the description. There's going to be a ton of changes to the Deadman mode Reborn that they initially went over, that they did go through and change to make it more fair based on feedback they've gotten. So we're going to go over a lot of those changes, not all of them because there is simply too many to go over.
Of course.
We're going to go over some of the more notable ones, talk about Deadman mode a little bit, and then of course we're going to end it off with a bunch of questions over on the Reddit. And we actually got one on, what was it, Instagram?
Instagram from Matt from last week, actually asked another question.
Yeah, shout out. So if you have any questions, you can also be on our podcast. Just hit us up on Twitter or Instagram. I think are our two main ones.
Even ask us on Twitch, but make sure to tell me, hey, say this on the podcast, because otherwise I will forget immediately.
Yeah, we write them down and we do them every week. So if you have a question, this one's pretty fun. Whether it be about the game, real life, anything, just let us know, and we'll probably make sure to get around to it the next week.
Yes, and that question will be coming at the end to make everyone listen to the episode first.
Yeah, or you could just skip to the end. So make sure to stick around.
No. They better just listen to it all to be sure.
All right. So, of course, as always, though, we're going to start off with account progression. So, Michelle, how's it going?
Pretty good. So,
all right.
The past couple weeks, I have been streaming, working on Vorkath for Blue Dragon tasks, the never-ending Blue Dragon task.
Yeah.
It was around like 150. I did a couple after, so I don't know the exact number, but I finally finished that.
Nice.
So I did 153 kills, and I got 17.5 million.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty sick. I didn't look up to see if that's good for the drop average,
well, it's about,
whatever.
125k per kill. Is the average.
I'm not good at quick maths.
Yeah,
so that means nothing to us.
Yeah, I think it's about average though.
Someone out there is like, haha.
No, I do think it's about average.
Yeah, so now that I finally finished that, yesterday I was just streaming doing more Slayer. I did the fight case for a task, did not get the pet, even though I gambled my cape.
So close.
Did not get the pet. And then I was working on the Sequoia task last night, which is the most boring task ever.
It is.
And I got a hard clue scroll. And after the hard clue scroll, I got a master clue scroll.
Nice.
That took me an hour to do.
You're going to get some third age?
No. I wanted the pet and I didn't get that either.
Oh, well.
It literally took me an hour because I was misunderstanding it. And I think I was being hunted by someone in the wilderness.
In the wilderness? Nice.
Everyone in the stream was scaring me. They were, like, adding this one person, and they're like, oh, my God, they're watching to see who you are. And I was like, what the heck? Why are you guys saying that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it happens. People get stream sniped all the time.
Yeah, because I was in the wilderness, and then I was going to the... What are the teleport things called?
Obelisk.
Obelisk. I was running to the obelisk, and this other person just landed on the obelisk, and they were running the other direction. And then they stopped me, and they started turning around, and I was like, ah! And I logged out really quick.
That's funny.
And then I got scared, and I switched worlds on stream, and everyone was like, oh my God, don't switch worlds on stream because they're going to get you. And I was like, stop. So then I went back to Varrock right after that, so I didn't care. But whenever I went to the wilderness again, I was like, let me put the stream on intermission real quick.
Dang.
Because I got scared.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically all I've been doing. I'm looking at my skills and don't think I've even leveled up a single thing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So there's that.
Pretty good. Some progress.
Yeah, my total level's 2007. I feel like I got
good year.
Something up. Was it a good year?
No,
it was like in the fifth grade.
It was actually an awful year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just the beginning of the collapse of the economy.
Oh, 11-year-old me was like, oh, the economy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I have been streaming a lot though, like I said, so come hang out. It's twitch.tv/Bunebape.
Yeah, she's been actually streaming a lot. And
yeah, I usually only stream for like 1.5 to 2 hours, but the past couple nights I've been streaming 3 hours because I've been having fun. It's more fun when people are talking to you. Sometimes when no one's talking, I'm just like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, we've been having more viewers, so that's nice.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter how many viewers you have as long as people talk and are, I don't know, just keep me entertained.
Yeah, just hanging out.
I guess it's supposed to be my job to entertain, and I'm like, you entertain me.
Yeah, it's like just hanging out with people, so it's nice to have someone to talk to.
Yeah. And that was after I took a break this entire weekend. It was actually my sister's bachelorette party.
Shouts out.
Yeah, shouts out. And yeah, I didn't stream for like 3 days because of that. And kind of wish I would just been streaming instead. I don't drink or anything, so I ended up.
Yeah, we're not party people per se.
Yeah, I ended up having to be the mom to my little sister. Funny story, we went on water slides
Jesus.
at this pool, and she was drinking, and she somehow landed wrong off of a water slide and scraped her knee and foot against the bottom of a pool. And I had to take care of her. Yeah, now it's infected and she's on antibiotics because the hotel was like in the middle of nowhere, and we didn't think to go to like the front desk because I'm not literally a mom. I didn't know what to do.
They always have medical units there.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. So yeah, I got to take care of her, and that was exciting. And I would have rather been at home doing forecast.
Well, heads up, if any of you ever mess yourself up at a hotel, almost all of them have some type of medical unit on hand.
Yeah, I know.
If it's an actual hotel, not like a motel or anything like that.
No, it was a nice hotel. I mean, if they have a water slide, they probably have medical stuff, I feel like.
Well, yeah, you'd hope
I've never
so.
seen a bad water slide at like a motel.
I've never seen any water slides at motels.
Yeah, okay, see that? That's what I mean. If they have a water slide, they probably can afford to have medical stuff there.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so that was my little RuneScape update, but how have you been, Rob?
Pretty good. I've been kind of like taking a break from RuneScape just because I've been like, every time I play it, I just get like super tired and just don't want to play it at the moment. So I've just
you'll be like me because I was kind of like that, and then after this weekend, I was actually so excited to play again.
Yeah, I feel like that's why like I'm kind of like taking a break because before I was kind of like forcing myself to play more or less. And I feel like if I take a break, then I'll come back and want to play more because that's usually what happens. So I've just been playing other games. I even like streamed Warframe. So if anyone is interested in that game.
Oh yeah, how did that stream go? I wasn't here for it.
It was okay. Some people hanging out.
Nice.
Some people on the stream randomly also played the game, so it was pretty funny. But I haven't played it in years, so it was nice catching up. And then, yeah, I've just been playing a lot of other games. So I've been playing like Rainbow Six Siege with a lot of my friends have recently been playing that again. So I've been playing that with them. And yeah, I've also been playing Escape from Tarkov as well. Like it's kind of like a like survival like first person shooter. It's actually like a really intense game sometimes. So
it was so funny. He came in this morning to tell me about it, and he was like, I was following these two people and I was following them for 16 minutes. I was like, what?
Yeah, I followed these people through the forest for 16 minutes.
He's like, it's really fun. He just quietly moves for 16 minutes and does nothing.
Yeah, I was just like chasing them down, and right when they're about to escape, I got them. So it was
like
actually,
a little lion.
That game is very akin to just like fighting Jad all the time. So like you get like,
oh my god,
really like sweaty, and it's really intense the whole time.
That's scary. Yeah, anytime I've seen him playing it, I'm just like, no, thank you, because I feel like people are always getting killed and they don't even realize like anyone's watching them. Yeah, whenever you do it, you're like, oh my god, that's so cool. But then when it happens to you, I'm like, oh, here we go. And I have to deal with sad little Robert over here because you're like, oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, especially if you play by yourself, which I usually do.
Which you do.
So, I would recommend it if any of you are interested in first-person shooters. Rainbow Six Siege is really fun. Warframe is free, so that's always fun. And then Escape from Tarkov if you fancy a little, a little kick in the teeth every once in a while.
Oh my god. Okay, no one played that game. You can no longer play either. Is that what you're getting from it?
Pretty much. But I will be back to RuneScape. I still log on here and there, just not too much progress. I'll do like some dailies and stuff like that. But I haven't even done like any farming or birdhouses in a long time. I've just been doing like, I've been logging on and like getting my NMZ free
and your battle stabs.
Free stabs. I don't even get the battle stabs or
bro,
like
you don't even get the battle stabs.
Yeah, but I will be back, so it's not like I'm like quitting the game or anything. I'm just taking a little bit of a break, and we'll be back actually probably for Deadman. So I guess that's a pretty good transition.
We're gonna try that to try to make into our career, winning Deadman.
Yeah, winning Deadman every year for $30,000.
Honestly, we would be good yearly if one of us could win this.
No, because I think the first place prize is only 20,000. The entire purse is 32.
Okay, but at our old jobs, we only made like 30, so we could just do part-time.
All right, but either way, I
Our
guess
new
we'll
job,
just
Master of Deadman mode.
we'll roll right into Deadman mode. So if anyone,
Wait, I had one more thing actually.
oh really? Go ahead.
In Animal Crossing, I got 2 neighbors' pictures now.
Oh yeah, so what she does is she builds.
You're gonna make me sound like a monster.
She builds relationships with these people on her.
They're not people; they're animals.
With these animal people.
That's worse. They're
on
cuter.
Her islands, and she like builds a really good relationship with them so much that they become like best friends. And as soon as they give them a picture of themselves to
I hang
her,
them on my wall.
she hangs them on her wall, or the pictures on her wall.
Oh
and
my
then,
god, that's a character.
Yeah, she hangs the pictures on her wall, and then she
Whenever-
ousts the people.
Whenever I get a new campsite person coming, I take the time to get them to move in and replace the person's picture I got, because that's like pets basically in RuneScape is the like pictures in Animal Crossing.
Okay. So yeah, so she's
I'm not mean.
She's a crazy evil person. Don't ever move
I was
to her
actually
island.
feeling so bad for this little dog named Mac. And I went in to see him when he was moving, and he had like all of his little boxes packed, and he had a little broom, and he was just brooming nothing because they're fake. And I was just like, oh, Mac, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so she just ruins everyone's life that goes and lives with her. But yeah, so either way, rolling in to Deadman. Of course, like we said at the beginning of the stream, there is no official update today or anything like that. There is a quick tweet saying that there was not going to be any update this week, but that there is going to be, of course, the server reset with the PvP world rotation, and also LMS is not going to be going on World 390 until next week. So
Okay.
Rest in peace, LMS on World 390 specifically.
Very specific.
Yeah, so you can still do LMS competitive on World 580 though if you are still looking for that. But either way, so we can take a look at the Deadman Reborn changes. So I am going to quickly go over what Deadman is for anyone that doesn't know for some reason what Deadman is.
You told me literally like last week, and I already don't remember.
Yeah, it's fine. So essentially what it is as long as you have, and they of course have an entire blog about this, so feel free to check it out in the description if you want to get all of the information about it. But either way, it's essentially a PvP mode. As long as you are a member on any account, you can join the Deadman specific worlds. And there you are essentially going to be in like a very PvP focused game mode.
Scary.
Yeah, so what it is you get very highly increased rates of experience, but you can attack and anyone can attack you around the world.
Is there any safe areas?
There are safe areas, and
that's where I'll be skilling.
Yeah, so we can actually talk about that real quick. So for the Deadman, the safe zones, just so everyone knows, is going to be these specific areas, and you have to be in these specific areas if you don't want to get attacked by anyone. Outside of the protection, there's like other random times you will be protected regardless of where you are. But
Sure.
We can go over that at a different time. Also, if you are skulled at any time, and you get skulled, of course, by attacking an unsuspecting victim, and you teleport to one of these protected areas, a actual Deadman guard will spawn next to you and attack you continuously, doing 1/5 of your max hit points. Increasing every attack, and he does it every game cycle, so every 0.6 seconds he's just like beating you. So
oh my god.
Yeah, so essentially do not, if you're skulled, go into these protected zones. These protected zones are specifically when you need to get ready to gear up and go fight people or do whatever. If you go
like
there
me to get that 30k.
Yeah, if you do some like some like scrub tactics where you're going and fighting someone, killing them while skulled, and then looting their stuff and going back to a safe zone, that won't fly because you'll just get killed. So make sure to leave the safe zone if you are skulled. Either way, though, so the safe zones are going to be Barbarian Assault inside of the minigame specifically.
Oh.
So not
in that hallway?
Not outside. So the bank is not.
Wait, do you think even in that little room?
No,
okay.
I think once you're down the ladder, you're fine. But I think specifically what they mean is if you're at the bank next to Barbarian Assault, that's not safe.
I was imagining just like being like collector here, someone comes and just PKs you,
No.
and then they take your place.
No. So also is going to be Catherby Bank, East Ardoyne, Falador,
Wow, I'm
Jatizo
surprised at like
Town.
whole areas.
Yeah, there are large areas. All of
Wow.
Lumbridge, Neatsnot Town, Port Phasmatis, Relica, Sears Village Bank, Sophanum, Tree Gnome, Stronghold, Tutorial Island, Varrock, and Void Knight's Outpost.
I'm gonna have a skilling account, man.
I mean, yeah, technically you
I'm gonna
could.
be fine.
So also, if you technically did, you can make a skiller if you want. You are going to be getting 10 times as much experience in each skill. So it's definitely feasible to make a skilling account. Just try not to get killed.
Can I get max?
Yeah, you probably could. You do get, yeah, like I said, 10 times as much, and that's even more so for combat. So the higher your combat is, you'll be able to move up to different worlds based on your combat. And it, for example, you start off at 10 times combat experience and also skill experience, and then eventually you end at 25 times combat experience. And they did clarify that prayer is part of this as well. So, but that also includes whenever you die. The reason it's so much higher for combat eventually is because whenever you die 3 times, it actually fully resets your combat experience to 0. So you get set back to level 3, and so that's why the combat experience is so high for some people, or once you get into the higher end.
Wow.
It doesn't reset your skills though. It only gives a 10% experience, essentially like attacks for dying 3 times.
Okay.
Quickly, what Deadman is you go into these specific worlds like I was talking about, and then you go specifically for PvP, although you will be doing skilling and stuff like that normally, and anyone can attack anyone outside of the safe zones that we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
One of the main reasons that this is going to be a cool event and there's incentive for it is because, like we were talking at the very beginning, there is actually quite a large prize pool this time around. So it's an entire $32,000 of a prize pool. I don't have the exact breakdowns here, but I'm pretty sure first prize is like $20,000.
Jeez.
And it'll be the top around 2,000 players. I think it's 2048. So the top 2,000 players are going to be entered into, and that's going to be, I think they said it's going to be based on skill total. So you are going to have to do skilling.
That's why I said just try to do a skill account to try and get into that 2048.
I mean, technically you could. I think they pay out like the first 16 or 30 places or something like that with like membership and stuff. So you could technically get free membership if you just liked skilling and got really lucky in PvP. But yeah, so if you are entered into those top 2,000 players, you are going to have to engage in some 1v1 combat, and eventually until they get down to the final players. And that's going to be pretty interesting because
it's like a battle royale, right?
Yeah, essentially it's a battle royale.
Yikes.
But yeah, a lot of 1v1 combat, as far as I understand, is going to happen after that. Also, it's very unique the way that combat works. So once you do kill an enemy or they kill you, they're going to drop, whoever is going to drop a key, and or it's just going to be awarded to you. And so once you take that key back to your bank, then you can actually exchange it, and it'll give you 28 of that enemy's most valuable items directly from their bank.
Oh my god.
So for example, if you killed someone and they had 28 Saradomin God Swords in their bank, and those were the most expensive items, then you'll be given 28 Saradomin God Swords.
So I don't even want that good of gear.
Yeah. And so that's the main thing, is that it's a very high risk way of playing.
Oh yeah.
And even more so, like I said, it's even more high risk because once you do die 3 times, your account is fully reset. All of your combat stuff is fully reset. So it's back to 3. And your bank is also fully reset.
Wow.
Back to 0. So the only thing that doesn't get reset is going to be your actual skills that are not combat related. And so, like I said, very high risk and potentially very high reward, because I mean, if you get like a lucky PK, you could be getting, billions and billions of gold worth of stuff off of one player. So,
but then if you take those billions and billions of gold and get PK'd yourself, it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a lot that we already went over previously.
I actually have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
So Are the quests gonna basically be finished for you in this? Like, you can go and do Vorkath and stuff if you wanted?
Not all of them,
But some,
but
okay, some
yes.
are.
So they do have a breakdown here. It shows
Oh,
that
okay.
at level 3, you are going to have Ernest the Chicken, Goblin Diplomacy, Rune Mysteries, Shield of Arav, Recipe for Disaster 1, and Druidic Ritual, as well as level 3 Herb Lore. So all of those will be
Wow.
done immediately. And then as you increase in your combat level and move to different combat worlds, then you will have more and more unlocked. For example, you'll get in the next bracket, you'll be getting Animal Magnetism, so you can get your Ava's Accumulator and stuff like that. You'll also be able to
Oh.
get your Adamant Gloves at that point. In the next bracket after that, you'll unlock Dragon Slayer as well as Monkey Madness 1. So you'll have access to all of that stuff as well as Dragon Gloves. And finally, in the last bracket, you'll be having access to Barrow's Gloves.
Nice.
So all of these are going to be automatically unlocked as soon as you enter that world, and then relocked once you die 3 times and are sent back.
Jeez. Yeah, the main thing that I was concerned about was, like, how soon are people going to be getting ancient magics in this?
Fairly fast, because you unlock ancients after reaching combat level 36, which is pretty fast.
Which one's the ancients? I thought ancients
Oh,
was...
it's Lost City, sorry. 71.
Lost City.
71.
Okay, so 71 is when you'll get ancients.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
And you will, what I was looking at is because you get 100% Zaya Favor at 36. So you'll be getting the, I guess potentially you could unlock the new Zaya spellbook. But
oh, cool.
I don't know how useful that'll be. Also, if you're wondering about the drop rates, they are going to have an increased drop rate for all of the gear in the game. So
if I get a pet in Deadman, I'm going to be annoyed.
Pet is still default drop rate.
Okay.
So it'll still be 1 in 3,000 or 1 in 5,000, whatever pet you're going for.
That'd be more annoying than if I got it.
Yeah, exactly. So what is interesting, though, is this is one of the bigger changes, so I guess we'll go over it now. But the drop rate modifier used to be 3 times the normal rate.
Jeez.
Now it is 4 times the normal rate.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so if you, for example, are looking for a DFS for some reason, a Dragonfire Shield, then of course that's made with a Dragon Visage, which is normally a 1 in 5,000 or 1 in 10,000, depending on what you're killing. So essentially that'll be 4 times as likely, so just over a 1 in 1,000.
That's awesome.
And so that can make it much, much easier to get, for example.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't know why you'd want that, though. It's just an example. But something else they added to the global drop table, so you don't have to grind it out, is going to be the Master Wand, as well as the Mage's Book.
What's the global drop table?
It's so they made it so that you don't have to. They added some stuff to the global drop table, so just while killing stuff, there's a chance that they'll drop the Master Wand instead of you having to go to the what's that area in
I don't even know what drops it.
Oh, it comes from the mage's training, the training arena, mage's training arena.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
so you could just kill anything and potentially get it?
Yeah, so normally
like kill a goblin, get a wand.
Yeah, I guess so, technically.
Weird.
So if you do want to get a Kodai, then you are just going to have to get lucky or buy it off the GE.
Okay.
But yeah, so that just makes it so it's a lot easier instead of having to sit there for hours and grind out the mage training arena. So they just added it to the drop table of any random enemy. So in addition to the modified drop rates, though, they also made some changes to increase the amount of resources that are entering the game, because this game mode is actually only going to be up for 3 weeks. So it is going to be a very fast game mode, and there's going to be a lot of items just kind of being tossed at you from every which direction. So it's going to be all random unnoted herbs dropped from NPCs are now doubled.
Nice.
The giant mole will drop double the amount.
Oh my gosh.
In barrows, there's a chance to obtain potions, tunas, lobsters, all those dark crabs, fish, will yield 3 times the amount of fishing resources. Dragons now drop double the amount of bones.
Nice. Get that prayer up.
Yeah, exactly. In addition to the normal loot offered by killing them, Scorpia, Crazy Archaeologist, Chaos Fanatic also now have a 1 in 5 chance of dropping a 4-dose Saradomin brew.
Okay.
That, as well as Callisto, Venenatus, Vedion, Chaos Elemental, all have a 1 in 3 chance of dropping a 4-dose Saradomin. So it just essentially gives it a little more incentive to fighting stuff in the wilderness. Not that it matters, because you're going to be in PvP regardless of where you are.
Very true.
And so there's also going to be access to the Emblem Trader. So, of course, you probably know about this if you do any PvP in the wilderness, but there are going to be emblems dropping, and you will be able to use the blighted items. So, like blighted brews, blighted super restores. Normally, you could only use those items in the wilderness, but if you do get those items via emblems, then you will be able to use them anywhere in
Oh,
Gilnor.
interesting.
Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know, they're pretty much the same thing as regular super restores and stuff, except obviously you don't
They're
have to
for the
make them.
wilderness.
Yeah, you don't have to make them, so they're really cheap, and you can just buy them and use them anywhere. So it could be a really easy way to get resources for PvPing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. On top of that, they're going to make it so that all the rune shops, arrow shops, pretty much every shop in the game is going to restock much faster than normal.
Makes
So
sense.
yeah, if you need a bunch of arrows, then you should be good to go. Also, they made a change so that dying or dropping a stack of chinchompas will cause it to appear on the ground. Normally, they would all disappear and that'd be gone forever.
Wow.
But if you do have some chinchompas, then now someone else can have some chinchompas.
Dang.
Yeah. Also, there are some changes to prevent door spamming. Also, for logging out, there is going to be timers related to it. So I guess we can go over a couple more of the big changes.
Yes.
So one of the really big changes that they proposed is having singles plus combat over the entire world, which if you don't know what singles plus is, normally right now as it is, if you are fighting an NPC, let's say a dragon, and an enemy, another player comes along, they cannot fight you until you kill that dragon.
Okay.
But singles plus makes it so that if you're fighting a dragon and a player comes along, they can fight you, and their fight with you will take priority over the dragon. So the dragon will stop fighting you, and you will now be engaged in combat with that player.
Oh no, yeah, because I know people would get away in the wilderness by going and fighting stuff.
Yeah, so that is one of the main things that they proposed, but a lot of people thought that they didn't like that for whatever reason, so they actually changed it back. So that means that everywhere in Gilnor is going to be single way combat, except for Revenant Caves. For whatever reason, they made it so that it's still singles plus in Revenant Caves. So
weird.
Make sure you watch out there. And they said that they are going to instead be implementing a PJ timer of 9.6 seconds. And they provide an example here. They says that with these changes, whilst in combat with an NPC, another player cannot attack you. Once you leave combat, the NPC player can attack you. And then once attacked by a player, an NPC cannot attack you for another 9.6 seconds after no combat with the player has passed. So let's say you're just in the middle of like a bunch of necreals and you just finished killing someone, they can't all pile on you and start killing you or something like that.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so, or at least for 10 seconds.
So you have time to run.
Yeah, so that is one of the bigger changes that they decided to move away from singles plus and go back to singles. And so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy about that, personally.
Yeah. Another thing that they went over, I guess we'll just go through a bunch of the questions raised that they wanted to either clarify or fix. And I think the second biggest one is probably going to be that in previous events, a lot of people would teleport instantly after defeating an NPC. Of course, this is so that they don't get attacked by a player that was nearby.
Yeah.
And so in order to combat this, they are going to have a teleport timer, essentially preventing you from teleporting while in combat.
Oh no, that was my master plan.
Yeah, exactly. So this can be brutal, but it does make sense. So what's it going to be is that a player will need to wait 11 game cycles or 6.6 seconds before or after leaving combat before they can teleport. Oh. So yeah, this gives time for anyone, of course, that's just waiting around to fight you. So make sure that you are prepared whenever that does happen, or make sure you are near a safe spot or something like that.
Yes.
And so it says that with the removal of singles plus, this is a different one. So with removal singles plus, concerns have been raised about players boxing NPCs to avoid combat. So of course, if you don't know what boxing is, essentially, if I don't want to get in combat with player one, then all I need to do is pretend to fight this NPC. and
Oh.
you just take off your weapons and you can just punch him for
Oh,
a
like
really
literally
long time.
boxing.
Yeah, literally boxing. And this is a common practice in places like the wilderness even now, just so that you don't have to get into combat with other players if you don't want to. So
Whoa.
while they a lot of people don't know this, but in Deadman it's not allowed. Boxing is not allowed. It's actually a bannable offense. So it says that
you can't get your real account banned, right? Just your Deadman
no, just
account?
your Deadman
Okay.
account. So it says they'd like to reiterate that boxing other players is against the rules in Deadman. And in addition to this, attempting to log out with an NPC is against the rules as well, and is also punishable the same as boxing. For instance, if you are fighting, if you're fighting a like NPC and you see someone is waiting to fight you after you're done fighting the NPC, and you try to log out, one, there is a timer, and two, that's a bannable offense.
Whoa, that's actually crazy.
Yeah,
It's
so
bannable to try and log out.
yeah, it's against the rules. So
That is
the
so
entire point of this game
Ooh.
mode is PvP. So if you're trying to avoid it, then maybe don't play.
Oh my god,
I
at me
guess.
next time. Jeez.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of rough, but again, that's the entire point of this game mode. So make sure if you are going to play Deadman, one, realize that none of this gear is your gear. None of it will transfer over, so you don't need to like hoard it or be like scared of losing it. But
You only have it for 3 weeks max.
yeah, but essentially, also try to do some PvP every once in a while,
I'll do it with melee. I just don't do PvP with magics. It's scary.
Yeah. Also, it's like it's like as fair a fight as you'll get in the game, more or less, because if you're level 36, you can at most only be going against the level 70, which I guess technically is a really big jump, but
it's not like a max accounts coming and getting you.
Yeah, it's not huge, which it wasn't how it was in the past. So it's more of a fair fight. And on top of that, if you die, I mean, it's not a big deal again. It's not any gear that you have spent years getting or anything like that. And on top of that, you can get back to level 36 relatively quick with the 10 times experience boost.
Definitely.
So also, they do go through and confirm that prayer is considered a combat skill. And so, yes, it's considered a combat skill, and it will reset upon losing your last life. But of course, you'll also benefit from the increased experience rates, especially, like I said, up to 25 times more experience, even for prayer.
It'll be significantly faster, leveling back up if needed.
Yeah. Also, they did clarify, someone asked if there's going to be any prerequisite quests that are going to be unlocked automatically. So they did clarify, they said, yes, any quest that is automatically completed will also automatically complete all of the prerequisites.
Oh, wow.
So that's really big. They recently added in these notes Monkey Madness 1 to that list. So all of the prerequisites for Monkey Madness 1 will autocomplete.
And some of them have some crazy prerequisites.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard for me to say that word.
It's going to be dozens of quests will just automatically complete once you move up to another bracket.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Do you need to be a member to do Deadman?
You do need to be a member. It doesn't matter what account it is. If you have a level 1 account, it doesn't matter, but it does have to be a member.
I wasn't sure if it was like anyone can do it, even if you're not a member, it'll just basically make you a fake member.
No, you have to be a member, but luckily, if you really want to be a member and you have some cash, they are doing a membership sale currently.
Oh, yes, of course.
So you can head over to Jagex's main site and get some membership if you are planning on being a member for quite a while.
Definitely.
So some people ask when it starts and when it ends. So it'll be starting on the 25th of August, and it will close the evening of September 16th in preparation for the finale. The finale is going to begin on the evening of the 17th. The exact times will be shared at a later date, though they expect all the qualifying players will be given access to the worlds used for the finale approximately 2 hours before the 1v1 stages begin.
Okay.
And they do clarify that all the 1v1s will have predetermined gear, so it'll be the most fair playing field that you could possibly have among all the 1v1 fights for the finale. So they also go into the logout strat that I was talking about earlier. So they say that currently both the restrictions will still apply in Deadman Reborn. So the players must wait 12 game cycles before being able to log out or teleport whilst in combat. So again, that's just to prevent more people from like cheesing and logging out, which of course, like we said, is against the rules anyways.
Yes.
So this is just another preventative measure. So like I said, always be ready for a fight. Also, to that point, even more so, they did make a pretty big change in regards to being ready for a fight.
Okay.
Because previously, normally in the game, you will protect 3 items on death, maybe +1 if you're praying, so 4 items potentially. And that's how it was going to stay in Deadman Reborn as well. But they found that that wasn't really like akin to the high risk, high reward nature of the game.
Yeah.
So what they said now going forward is it is going to be exactly like the high risk worlds. So you will be losing everything on your person and of course
Oh.
everything in your bank.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is no protection of anything. The only thing that is going to be protected is whatever is in your secure container in your bank when you die.
Terrifying.
But also make sure that you know the secure container in your bank will also be emptied on your 3rd death, I'm pretty certain. So yeah, don't cherish those items too much, because if you die 3 times then they will be gone. One nice thing though that they did change that was pretty, I think would have been really annoying, is originally you of course have 3 deaths and then you're reset.
Yeah.
And that was going to include PVM deaths. So if you died of Warcath 3 times, then your account would reset as well.
Oh no.
They changed it. They changed their minds, so they made it so that that was a little too punishing. So now
Yes.
it's only 3 specifically PvP deaths.
Okay, good.
So
I was gonna ask that earlier and I totally forgot about it.
yeah, so if you have to die 3 times in PvP for your account to be reset. And I think that's overall a really good change. I think it would have been too annoying because, like, if you accidentally die to like Dagonoths or something that's like a one shot, like something in TOB, then it's kind of like,
If you're trying to get your fire cape and die to Jad.
yeah, it's like, you know, really annoying stuff that, of course, if you're playing perfectly, wouldn't happen, but no one plays perfectly.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
I think a lot of people would have been messed up by that mechanic.
Oh, for
but
sure.
I'm really glad they changed that, even though they did end up making the game more hardcore by removing your protection on death. So overall, I think it was a good decision, though.
Yes, agreed.
So also, someone wanted to clarify: does attacking a skulled player give the attacker a skull? Yes. So
Yeah.
it says attacking
It's still attack.
yeah, attacking a skulled player will still give you a 5-minute skull timer, but attacking a player back in defense does not skull you.
Is that just how it is normally in the game?
That's just how it is normally. So nothing different there. And just so you know, like we were talking about previously, the Emblem Trader. So the emblems will still drop in Deadman Reborn, like I said earlier. And of course, you can still buy supersets, super restores, Saradomans, and all that stuff. So also, whenever you die for a 3rd time, your death's coffer, as well as the points in your Emblems Trader, will be completely wiped.
Oof.
Yeah, so don't rely on having free, easy loot when you come back after dying
I would
your
say
3rd
try
time.
not to die that 3rd time,
Yeah,
everyone.
definitely do your hardest
Skilling
to
accounts.
not die that 3rd time. But I guess this is a good time to talk about the protections. So there are going to be a couple protections, so you don't get completely like annihilated right away.
Mm-hmm.
So it says that upon starting a new account, you'll be given 15 minutes of protection where you cannot, of course, attack other players and they cannot attack you.
Ooh, I would make my way over to Varrock.
You actually, I'm pretty sure you spawn in Lumbridge, but yeah, I guess you could run over there.
I feel like there's more stuff there to do.
Yeah, potentially. Also, when advancing to a new combat level world, so let's say from 35 to 36, once you do advance a level, let's say from 35 to 36, it will strongly recommend you move to another world. If you're in combat while you level up, let's say like if you're bursting or something like that, then it will not automatically kick you out. It will just strongly recommend that you stop what you're doing and go to a different world. By doing that, I mean you will not be getting any loot. You will not be you'll not be getting any experience. So as soon as you get to that bracket for the new world, you're definitely going to want to move.
So if you do get attacked by a PKer who's supposed to be in a different world, who's not getting experience or anything, that won't count as a death.
No, I actually
I don't know
even...
why anyone would say just be rude, basically.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good question. Let me see. They actually have
It's a
a
very
thing.
specific question. I don't even know if anyone explained that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the answer to that question,
That's
but
okay.
they do clarify. They say that someone asked, how do the combat levels work if you were to gain a level that puts you into a higher bracket whilst in combat? And they responded by saying the game strongly suggests that you log out and switch. During this time, you are unable to attack NPCs or players, but both can attack you. You do not gain experience from any sources, and you can only use a bank 3 times before being unable to open the bank again.
Okay.
So essentially, there's really no reason to ever stay in a lower bracket server if you happen to get stuck there.
Yeah, I'm just scared of people who are being rude.
Yeah, but yeah, so they can't attack you, so there's no way to worry against that.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and there's not going to be any catch up system, just so you know. So if you die and you get reset, then that's it.
Oh.
But back to the protections. When you do advance to that new combat world that we were talking about, you are given 60 minutes of protection. So I guess get to grinding as fast as possible. And upon losing your last life, you will be given another 15 minutes of protection. One thing that is nice though is whenever you start your adventure, once per day, you are given a little supply drop of items.
Oh.
So you'll get some free stuff, and this will just make your adventure like a little bit easier. You can do it once per day, and it is reset if you lose your final life. So if you die 3 times, if you're just dying a bunch throughout the day, you'll be given free starter items that you can continually reclaim. And it's just a bunch of stuff like 500 casts of Fire Strike, a bow with some arrows, a sim, as well as a sim that you can use at level 1. It's equivalent to a myth, a mithril sim.
Nice.
A super set, or a combat set rather, a combat potion, some food, and they can all be claimed from the combat tutors in Lumbridge. So
awesome.
Yeah, you're not going to start off with literally nothing. You will have some stuff even right from the get-go, which
That's
I would
really nice.
highly recommend using. It'll start you off on the right foot, especially that mithril sim.
That's actually a big one.
Yeah, exactly.
Those cows don't know what's coming for.
Yeah. So besides that, they also made it so that, like I said earlier, Monkey Madness will now automatically be unlocked after level 71. And so yeah, that's I guess more or less most of the interesting changes. There are a lot. So if
there's even more we didn't read, so feel free to click the link in the description.
I don't want this entire podcast to just be about this, but there is a lot of changes.
We're like not a lot to talk about. We got some questions. Yeah. 45 minutes in.
No, yeah, all that stuff was just changes too. That's not even like the base game or anything. Mm-mm. So if you still want to know more about Deadman or want to know more about all the changes, because there are a lot, like we said, then go check it out.
Yeah, I'm actually excited and very, very, very scared to try.
Yeah, so we'll be dying a lot. I'm certain of it.
I'm going to try and get my skills up a lot.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
So either way, it does look fun, and we are going to be playing it. I will be playing it for sure.
I'll play it. We probably won't be streaming it unless we're just skilling, though, so no one will come and find us.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. It is going to be interesting. There are going to be some restricted areas, so make sure to check that out if you, have like an area specifically that you want to go to. For example, the underwater area in Fossil Island is off limits because there's no fighting in underwater. So
oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. So there's all that, and of course one thing I didn't go over, but it's kind of a large system, so I purposely didn't go over it, is going to be the sigils system. It's essentially
I'm getting a tattoo of that Saw 3 one.
Yeah, it's going to be like
it's just a skull.
Huge buffs to your account. Some will give you 50% more experience. Some will give you permanent stamina effects, like stamina potion effects.
Wow.
Some will give you just straight up more accuracy on all your attack types. So,
can you only have one at a time?
You can have a bunch of them.
Okay.
And you can buy and sell them. They randomly drop from enemies.
Whoa.
So there's going to be, that's a huge aspect of the game, and I didn't want this to be like an hour and 15 minutes just talking about that.
No, I'm sure we'll talk about it next week whenever we try it out.
Yeah, plus we don't really even know what all the sigils are, so it's not even going to be a ton of information that's new or anything like that.
Yeah, that'll be better next week to talk about for sure.
Yeah. But some final, I guess, remarks about Deadman, besides that we're pretty excited about it, is that, like we said, it's going to last for a month. There's not going to be any separate tournament event. So your account used within Deadman Reborn season will be the same account you used in the Deadman Reborn finale.
Okay.
And they are removing the multi-way combat for the final hour entirely. So instead, the top 2,048 ranked players will be entered into 1v1 fights. And this will be based on total levels / high score ranking.
I actually like that more, because otherwise you could have a friend group that happened to all end up there, and you just gang up on everyone.
Yeah, so it's going to be a ton of 1v1s, and this, of course, like I said, is going to be in the last hour, so you don't have to really worry about it. Or if you don't plan on getting this far, then you don't have to worry about it at all, just like me.
We're planning on it, but we'll see.
So it says that these 2,000 players will have access to 4 worlds, each restricted to a maximum of 512. And then it's going to be split across various regions, so there's not going to be too much of a ping difference, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And then all these players are going to battle out in a 1v1 until there's only 1,024 left. Once the remaining 1,024 players are left, they will battle it out in a second round of 1v1s for a total of 512. And then the 512 will be granted access to a final 1v1 world. So it's just going to be a round robin of 1v1s until there is just a very small group of people left. They're going to continue this all the way from 512 down to 16 players.
Can I hide?
I mean, I guess so. No, it's 1v1. You can't hide. Who else are you going to fight?
The person just running around looking at me for hours. They never find me.
They log out because they're tired. No, so it's going to be like a little duel arena. So there's nowhere to hide. It's going to be like a Shazian style arena. So...
Also, literally death watching you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is watching you with Shazian war drum people in the background. So after there's 16 left, it'll go into the quarters, semis, and then the finals. And then the Reborn victor will be crowned, of course, claiming that huge first place prize of $20,000. So pretty. I know
there's
big
like
money.
No way we'd get that, but oh my god, that'd be life changing if we did.
Yeah, if you're even a little good at PvP, I'd recommend trying, because even if you get into the top 16 at all, into that quarterfinal or whatever, then you will be getting a year's membership for free. So it might be worth it if you like PvP. And like we said, it's only going to last a month, so...
It might be worth it if you're like us and don't have a job and could use that money.
Yeah. So, all right, so now that... I guess that's pretty much everything that we wanted to cover for Deadman Reborn.
50 minutes later, that's all.
Yeah. Pretty interesting overall, pretty excited. So let us know if you are going to be participating. I'm not into PvP or anything, but like I said, I like that this format is, so I don't really care about any of the gears, so...
Yeah, so we're gonna try.
Yeah, so I guess I'll give it a shot. And also the sigils look cool.
They look really cool. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
That's the one that I was like, I'm gonna get a tattoo of this.
Yeah. But we can jump into a few questions now. The first one, of course, is going to be the one that we got from Instagram from our friend Matt over there.
Yeah. So Matt asked, if OSRS went first person on consoles, which minigame would you be the most excited for?
Yeah,
I had an entire list of mini games pulled up, and there's some stuff that I didn't even realize were mini games. Do you know Barrows is a mini game?
Is it?
Apparently, according to this list, so let's count that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we can count that.
I'm counting this huge list.
It's
on the list.
All right.
So usually my favorite mini game is Barbarian Assault, but I was thinking, and I was like, I think I would hate that if it was first person and I couldn't see everything.
Yeah.
I was thinking one fun one, though, would be the temple trekking. Just because it kind of seems like it'd be one of those, like, choose-your-own-story-ish type things if you were doing a first person.
Okay.
I've only done that, like, twice, but I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
My other one was literally, like, the gnome ball one, because I was like, ooh, it'd be like playing soccer. And
That'd
I was
be
like,
cool.
That one's a less exciting answer, so...
That's sick.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that those are the two main ones that I would enjoy.
I think if I had to choose, I would either choose Soul Wars, but I think even though I've never played it, I would probably have to choose Castle Wars because it reminds me a lot of probably one of my favorite games called Mountain Blade. And
whoa, never even heard of that.
Yeah, Mountain Blade is really fun. There's Mountain Blade Warband, and then there's
Oh, Mount
banner.
and Blade. I thought you were saying Mountain Blade.
No, sorry, Mount and Blade. If you want, you
Okay.
can check it out over on Steam. It's a very different game, although it's kind of similar to RuneScape, where it's set like in old like medieval era.
Yeah.
And there's like people you can hold like castles, and you can like be a lord of a kingdom and stuff like that. And
Oh,
there's
okay.
often like if you want to siege castles, there's actual like siege weapons.
So Castle
And-
Wars.
Yeah, so like, and you can like actually roll up to like castle walls and like climb up like battering rams and like
What?
actually fight people in castles.
That
And
sounds
it's
fun.
yeah, it's a really really fun game. So probably that one because it is first person as well. So it kind of sounds like what you're talking about.
I also was scrolling down the list as you were talking, and I think I'd also want to do the Tazar Fight Pit,
Oh yeah,
which is basically just like fighting a bunch of people in there one-on-one, which again is something I've never really done. I've only done one person for a diary, and they just let me kill them, and then I
Yeah.
did it with Robert and let him kill me.
that kind of sounds like Chivalry, which is like a game where it's like old medieval times that you fight other people with, and it's
Uh-huh.
first person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we actually saw your sister's fiance playing it.
Oh, Chris was playing that?
Yeah.
Shout out Chris.
Yeah, shout out Chris. But yeah, it's a pretty fun game too.
That's the one he was playing? I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, where it was like you can like chop people's bodies in half and stuff.
I was watching it and I was like, this looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah, so that's our answer for that. Let us know what minigame you guys would want to play because super interested.
Or if you have any funny, interesting questions like that as well.
Yeah, hit us up on Instagram or Twitter, which is Bunebape for Instagram, Bunebapeosrs for Twitter. We have some Reddit questions to go to. That wasn't me starting our outro.
Yeah.
I will repeat those again in 5 minutes, though.
Yeah, of course. So we do have a couple questions, like she said, from Reddit. And the very first one, I think, is a pretty easy question. And he's talking about Vorkath. So he's wondering they're wondering what the best melee stat is for for Vorkath using the Dragon Hunter Lance. And I think you can probably get by with like 85 plus.
Okay, I was like, that's not a me question because
yeah,
I've never done melee there.
Pretty easy, especially if you have the Lance. You could probably even get by with 80s if you really wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how efficient it would be, of course, but higher the better. 85 is what I would say for minimum. 90 is recommended.
Okay.
So the next question is actually pretty good. It's in reference to Raids 3. So they recently talked about the Raids 3 rewards, and one of them is going to be the sword. And the sword is a one-handed curved sword that does
last week we messed up and said two-handed.
Yeah, last week I did say it was two-handed, but it is a one-handed Kopesh, which is a large curved sword, which is somehow going to be a stab weapon. Either way, practicality aside, this person's asking whether the rapier is going to crash after that, and I suspect it will not. One, because the rapier overall still has more damage, and the Kopesh has a more constant damage, so it might be better against higher defense enemies in particular.
Yeah.
But even then, it's still a lower attack rate, so... I don't see it being... I see it being a very niche weapon, while the rapier is a much better overall weapon.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wouldn't expect it to crash or anything like that.
Yeah.
This next person is asking about the Corrupted Gauntlet. So they have around some low 90, mid 90, and high 90 combat stats, and they're asking if that's good enough to have Corrupted Gauntlet on farm, because they've gotten a couple runs, but they fail the majority. And they're asking if it's their skills or if it's their like personal skill.
Those are good enough, right?
Yeah, those are.
I was like, I think those are
definitely
better
good
than
enough.
you and some of them.
Yeah, I have around like 85 melee and 90 plus range, and so you can definitely have it on farm with 90s. Like anything around 90, it's mainly going to be your skill is the reason you can fail the majority of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
just
not
very technical.
Yeah, it's not a slight towards you. It's just is some of the more difficult content in the game. And literally one mess up will kill you, as you probably know. So you just have to compensate for that by having strategies built around that. Like staying at a higher health and maybe getting better armor. I don't know, whatever you need to do, but maybe just learn the fights more. And yeah, just, I guess it's a hard answer, but just play better, I guess, is the real answer.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I play the best and I have it on farm or anything, but in general, it comes down to playing better.
It's experience, really.
Yeah, 99s will get you there and make it a little bit easier. And by a little bit, I mean like maybe 5% easier if you had all 99s. Like
it's
not
just
much.
way more understanding the mechanics of the fights.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you are paying attention, and that's the best you can really do. This other person asked also just randomly, are they ready to learn the gauntlet with practically 90s or practically 80 base melees and 90 range? Yeah, you can definitely do it.
And 90 strength that they had.
They have like a really weird mix of skills, but yeah, anything around 80 to 85, you can easily do regular gauntlet.
Oh, wow.
Easily. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. Especially compared to corrupted gauntlet.
Yeah, okay, you should say that part.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Regular gauntlet is difficult the first few times, but if you then do corrupted, you'll be like, oh, this is a complete
and then
joke.
go back to it and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like going down like a massive water slide or something, or like a massive roller coaster, and then you go back to the one that used to scare you. It's like, okay, this isn't even a big deal.
It's nothing anymore.
Yeah. So I guess we can end it off with this one. This person is asking how many kills per trip they should expect at gorillas. So I'm assuming they're talking about demonic gorillas. I don't know what other gorillas.
There's just regular gorillas somewhere, level 20.
A bunch of level 10 gorillas. Yeah, they're asking, given that they're not the best PVMer and they're borrowing almost BIS gear, or at least
best in slot gear. I was like, BIS?
Sorry, best in slot gear. As per the wiki, they feel really bad on how few they get, sometimes as little as 5, and maybe not more than 20. Oh my god,
laughing at them right now? Are we cyberbullies?
No, 5 is just really funny. I don't know. But yeah, so other people are saying they get 3 to 7 kills when they were first learning, but now that they have max stats in gear, they get like 60 kills per trip, and I think that's my experience as well.
15 to...
I don't get 60 kills per trip, but your first few goes, maybe your first task there, you'll be getting like maybe 5, maybe 10 per trip if it's a good trip, but once you actually start, like if you're really paying attention and are actually like trying to stay there for a long time, then yeah, you'll easily be getting 20, and I think I've gotten like 30 at most, but yeah, some people have been able to stay there for 100 kills. And
wow.
It's just how well you are, like how serious you're taking it, because if you're just trying to like AFK it, then I think 15 to 20 is a pretty good average, or at least that's what I would average. And but that's just like not really paying attention. If you're trying to like third eye, like see what they're gonna be attacking you with next, and you like are actually reliably doing that, then you can easily get much more than 20. But I don't like spending too much like brain power on because their attacks are random. So if you really pay attention and are like really good at guessing their skills and stuff like that, then you can get over 20. But
it's a little difficult.
Yeah, but I AFK and I get around 15 to 20. So just it depends on what you want to do. Like I said, 5 it's funny now, but 5 is probably what I was doing.
I know you laughed and then you were like, yeah, no, that's normal.
yeah. 5 to 10 is pretty normal when you're first learning. But like I said, once you get the hang of it, 20 is pretty manageable, especially if you're bringing something like an SGS, or if you have like the new prayers and stuff like that could help a lot. As like the death charge, as well as summoning like spectrals to fight for you and stuff like that. Oh yeah,
your thralls.
Yeah. Also, are you using Arclight? But apparently you say you have almost best in slot, so I'm assuming you have all this stuff. If you have all this stuff, then yeah, 20 is way more than manageable. And if you
just gotta work on it,
really get down and focused, 50 is manageable as well.
Jeez Louise.
So that's gonna be, I guess, about it. There's not a ton of questions that look really good, just a couple here and there.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
What are you working on this week?
Oh, pretty good question. So I'm going to be doing some more moneymakers. I'm actually probably going to do some herbivore. I've never done that. Might do some chinchompas. Hunter's pretty chill, pretty fun.
Yeah, it is.
Might be doing some of that, some bossing as well. And also going to be playing some more other games.
Nice.
Yeah, what about you?
Well, first things first, I'm going to try and move Huck out of my island on Animal Crossing now that I have his picture.
All right.
And as far as RuneScape, I mentioned last week, I think, that I was working on a Major Arena 2 video. And I thought it was going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Turns out
No.
this mini quest is actually really hard.
Yeah.
So, and I'm also struggling figuring out how I want to do the video. So that's still a work in the progress, you
It's
know?
both.
Yeah. I finished like the first boss in it. And then the second one, I was just like really overthinking how I'm doing the video so far. So yeah, that might be longer than expected. But yeah, I'm hopefully going to be working on that. And then just working on Slayer, because I'm still trying to get up to 93 for the Western Province Elite. It's just going to take me a million years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But soon.
I mean, I've been
But
87
soon.
for like a month.
But soon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, if any of you would like to ask us any questions, as I said before, you can hit us up anywhere really. So our Instagram is Bunebape, our YouTube's Bunebape, Twitter Bunebapeosrs. We also stream on twitch.tv/Bunebape. I'm usually on in the evenings, like 7, 8 Pacific Standard Time to like 10 to 11 Pacific Standard Time. And Rob will sometimes stream in the afternoons, but he's not been feeling it lately. So we'll see.
I've been focusing on other things, but I will be streaming eventually.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh my god, you just stop and it's only me.
I will be streaming eventually.
Sometimes people ask me where he is and I'm like, I don't know. He's right here just playing another game.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Just chilling. But yeah, thank you all so much for listening.
Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Yes, and next week we'll be back. I should probably already have a max Deadman account by the time we record.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so gonna win that 20k real quick.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see you all in Deadman. If not,
God.
that's fine
Hopefully
too.
we don't see you because that means you're probably coming to kill us.
Yeah, exactly. But thanks for listening.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all next time. Meet Mert.